You ever have one of those brilliant ideas? A huge project, a new business, maybe even a big paper, and you're just stuck. You know where you want to end up, but the path to get there is a complete fog. Well, today we're going to clear that fog. See, we're going to treat your big idea like it's this grand expedition. And to get anywhere, I don't care if you're climbing a mountain or launching a company, you need a plan. You need a map that shows you exactly where you're starting and where you're trying to go. And that's the real problem, isn't it? It's that feeling of staring at a blank page, just totally overwhelmed by all the possibilities, with no clue what the first step should be. Honestly, it's probably the single biggest reason why so many great ideas just fizzle out. So let's dive right in. Think of this whole thing as your guide to drawing that map. We are going to take that fuzzy, vague idea you've got and turn it into a crystal clear destination, one step at a time. First things first, before you even think about packing your bags or taking a single step, you have to define the mission. This is the groundwork, the absolute foundation for your entire journey. So, the background, what is that? It's all about context. It's like studying the general region of your expedition before you go. You've got to set the scene so that anyone who comes along with you understands the world you're about to step into. And asking yourself this question, it's so powerful. It forces you to build a really solid foundation. It makes sure you're not starting halfway up the mountain while everybody else is still stuck back at base camp, completely lost. Okay, next up is your justification. This is your why. Why this expedition? Why right now? Every great quest needs a really compelling reason, right? A dragon to slay, a mystery to solve, a huge gap on the map that just begs to be filled in. This is where you make your case. Seriously, ask yourself this. Because if you can't answer this question, your whole project just doesn't have any urgency. You have to be able to explain why this journey matters, not just to you, but to everyone else. Now we get to positioning. You can't explore everything, so this is all about focus. It's where you plant your flag and say, look, we're not exploring the entire continent. We are specifically climbing this one mountain using this one path. This is how you avoid that deadly everything about everything trap. This question forces you to be absolutely clear. It makes you zoom in from some massive, vague topic to something that's actually manageable, specific, and, achievable. It's all about defining your exact path. And that brings us to the heart of your mission, the problem definition. This is it, the single driving question for your entire project. It is the big red X on your treasure map. Literally everything you do from here on out should be about answering this one question. Just think about that for a second. This one question defines your ultimate goal. It's your North Star. And believe me, when you get lost in the weeds of your project, and you will, you can always come back to this question to get right back on track. Okay, so mission defined. You're ready to go, right? Not quite. You wouldn't just charge into uncharted territory without first studying the maps and journals of the people who tried to go there before you. This is your research phase. Some people call it a literature review, but let's be honest, it's way more exciting than that. You're basically studying old maps, reading the journals of past explorers, and learning from their successes and, just as importantly, their failures. You have to know what's already known before you can find something new. And listen, the goal here isn't just to write a book report on what other people have done. Nope. The goal is to find the edges of their maps. The places where they wrote, "Here be dragons." Your expedition starts right where their knowledge ends. This distinction is so important. The literature review is about studying their maps. The conceptual framework, that's where you take all that knowledge and you draw your own unique map. It's where you propose a new route based on everything you've learned. It's your theory, your plan of attack. Okay, you've defined the mission, you've studied the old maps, you've drawn your own. Now it's time to actually start the journey. This is the action phase. Let's go. And this part of the journey follows a really clear path. First, you choose your tools. That's your methodology. Then you analyze what you find along the way. Those are your results. But, raw data, a pile of treasure, that's not enough. You have to explain what it all means in your discussion. And then, finally, you share your discovery with the world in the conclusion. The discussion. This is where the real magic happens. It's where you connect your brand new discoveries all the way back to your original plan. You're taking the raw gold you found and you're forging it into something meaningful, explaining how it literally changes our understanding of the whole landscape. And there you have it. You did it. You completed the expedition, you made your discovery, you've returned home a hero. But the journey isn't truly over until you've shared your story. Look, a weak conclusion just retraces your steps. Yawn. A powerful conclusion stands on the top of the mountain you just climbed, and it explains the incredible new view to everyone down below. It's where you spell out the value of your work and why your discovery actually matters. And ultimately, this is what it all comes down to. This is the big takeaway. Every great plan, every great project should end by answering these 3 simple questions. What did we learn? Why does it matter? And most importantly, what can we now do differently because of this journey? That is how you turn any idea into a plan that can actually change things.